to the deep dive. Okay, today we're plunging into, well, the world of alkyl nitrites, poppers. These things, they have a really surprising history. Goes way back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Think 1844, amyl nitrite, used medically for angina, chest pains.
Wow, 1844. And then much later, sort of the 60s, it shifts towards recreational use.
That's right. That's when things started changing and wider use began.
So our goal today really is to unpack what these are, how they work, the effects, and crucially, the safety stuff. We want to help you cut through the noise because you see them around maybe mislabeled like room deodorizer or leather polish.
Yeah, that's often just a way to get around regulations.
Yeah.
And they have tons of street names too, Rush, Jungle Juice, Aroma, things like that.
Right. And one really important point up front, we're talking nitrate, the drug.
Definitely. Not nitrate. That's totally different. It's a diesel additive. You absolutely do not want to mix those up.
Okay, good distinction. So let's get into the chemistry then. What exactly are these substances and how do they actually affect the body?
Well, chemically, they're liquids, but the key thing is they produce this vapor you can inhale. Functionally, they act as a depressant, sort of slowing things down briefly.
Mm-hmm.
But the big thing is they're potent vasodilators.
Vasodilators, so widening blood vessels?
Exactly. Widens blood vessels, lets more blood flow through, and that causes blood pressure to drop quite quickly.
Mm.
How they do it is they act as a source for nitric oxide.
Nitric oxide, okay.
Yeah, and that's like a signal telling involuntary muscles, the ones you don't control, to relax.
Ah, got it. So it's affecting those automatic body systems, which makes the immediate effects pretty interesting, right? What do people typically experience and how fast does it happen?
It happens fast, like 0 to 30 seconds, kind of fast.
Wow.
Yeah, but the whole thing is over quickly, too. Usually just maybe 1 to 5 minutes total duration.
And the feeling, what's common?
Physically, you might feel lightheaded, maybe a warm sensation, heart rate speeds up. Increased libido is common, too. Some people get dizzy or headaches, maybe blurred vision, even nausea sometimes.
Okay. And emotionally or psychologically?
Emotionally, often euphoria, a sort of heightened sensual awareness. Psychologically, maybe some temporary visual distortions or even a bit of memory loss for those few minutes.
Right. So powerful, very fast, but short-lived. This makes the safety conversation absolutely vital, doesn't it? What are the key risks, the guidelines?
Hugely important, and this is critical. Alkyl nitrites are only for inhalation. Maximum 5 seconds or so. If someone swallows them, it's incredibly dangerous, fatal even, can lead to coma or death.
That's a stark warning. Inhalation only.
Absolutely. And they're corrosive too, so keep them off your skin.
Mm-hmm.
If contact happens, wash it off immediately with water. Oh, and they're flammable. Be careful with that.
Good heads up. What about safer use practices then?
Well, general advice is, use them in a comfortable place with people you trust, and definitely start with a tiny amount. See how it affects you personally. Because the effects are so short, it can be easy to redose too much too quickly. So caution there.
Overconsumption risk due to the short duration. Makes sense. Are there longer-term effects to consider?
They're considered rare, but yes. You can get mild allergic reactions. More seriously, though, rarely, something called methemoglobinemia.
Methemoglobinemia?
What's that? It's a blood disorder. Basically, it messes with your blood's ability to carry oxygen. Very serious. You might also see skin issues, like lesions, especially around the nose and mouth area. And it can increase pressure inside the eye, intraocular pressure. Big risk if you have glaucoma.
Okay, important for people with pre-existing conditions. And what about mixing them with other drugs?
This is where it gets extremely dangerous. Mixing with other vasodilators, think Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, that can cause cardiac arrest.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and mixing with stimulants like meth or amphetamines puts massive strain on the heart. Even alcohol isn't great. It can worsen the drop in blood pressure, the hypotension, potentially risking cardiovascular collapse.
So definitely avoid those combinations. Are there medical conditions where use is just not advised at all?
Yeah, generally, if you have high or low blood pressure, any heart problems, glaucoma, anemia. Also, if you're pregnant or have chest infections or any other respiratory issues, it's really best to avoid them.
Okay. And just quickly on the legal side, it varies quite a bit, right?
It does. Depends where you are. Like in Australia, many nitrites are prescription only or illegal otherwise.
And testing. Do they show up?
Not usually in standard roadside or workplace tests, mainly because they metabolize so incredibly quickly. But, and this is crucial, driving under the influence of any illicit substance is illegal. So the advice is always wait at least 24 hours before driving after any use.
Right. Safety first. Okay, so we've covered a lot: the history, the chemistry, effects, and really hammered home the safety aspects. Being informed is just so key with substances like these, especially with all the mislabeling and confusion out there. So, thinking about all this, what does it mean for you listening? Here's something to consider. Given how fast poppers work and how quickly they leave the system, what does that tell us about the real risks, especially around redosing or maybe using products from unregulated sources where you don't know the exact strength or purity? Something to think about. We really encourage you to keep digging deeper, keep learning.